Hi everyone, thank you for coming to this page and downloading this video file which tells you a little bit about why my view about languages is considered a little bit unconventional. For those who don't know what is unconventional, because we're talking about languages, I need to tell you about some of the words sometimes. Unconventional is basically unusual, something that not everyone believes in. So maybe not everyone thinks the same way, but I have good reasons to believe that what I'm saying is correct. So my view about learning languages is a little bit unconventional, unusual. So what is it all about? There are so many people who spend years on learning English but don't get the right results. True? So many people, just so many people who work, they study for a long time, they try to learn English, they go to different classes, they switch from one teacher to another, from one tutor to another, one set of books, textbooks to the other, and they still cannot speak properly. Or if they speak English, they're not too sure about their pronunciation, they're not too sure about their style of speaking, their style of writing. And writing a text, writing an email, writing a letter, writing a written assignment takes a long time. And in the end, there are lots of grammatical mistakes, there are lots of misuse of words in there. So how come? You know, after doing so much, you should be able to get great results at work, at university, or at the IELTS and PTE tests. Some people do, but many don't. Isn't that strange? Doesn't that mean that something wrong is happening? There is something that needs to be changed. So often this is what you get after years of studying a language, including English. You don't remember the words you memorized. You feel unsure about grammar. All those grammar tips that you learned, you studied, somehow you're not sure about using them. You're not confident about your accent and pronunciation. And most importantly, when it comes to an English language test, such as the IELTS test or PTE, you don't get high scores. If you're learning Russian, if you're learning French, same thing. So the formal language tests, you go for those and you don't get the results you really want. So why is that? You don't get the jobs you want. You can't use the language properly. So then you start thinking why? And obviously you end up answering to that question. Some people say, I can't. Some say, it's just too hard. And some say, I will do it later. I don't need it right now. Or if I do need it right now, I'm just too busy. I'm studying. I'm working. I'm intending to move to Canada in a year from now. And I will learn English once I move to Canada. I will learn French once I move to Canada. I will learn English once I move to Britain or Australia or United States. And when they go there, they just get too busy and they never really learn the language as they wanted, so they get stuck in low-paying jobs and other problems. I have no time for this, I'm not smart enough, maybe it's just not for me to learn a language. And then they quit. And your life takes a downturn because you don't have that important tool of communication with people. So that is the conventional view about learning languages. What is the conventional view, the usual view? It's hard and boring. It takes time. You need many years to learn a language. And most people never learn a new language to a high level of proficiency. That's just how the world is. You never learn a language just like a native. You won't be able to speak like a native unless you're a native. Well, maybe that's partially true, but not entirely. By the way, I'm not a native English speaker, as you see. And my unconventional view about learning languages is we have complicated it. We have complicated the process of learning languages. It's not difficult, it's not complicated. We have made it look difficult. It doesn't have to take much time. And those who learn a new language to a high level of proficiency know something that others don't know. So out of those people who spend so much time studying languages, studying English, for example, you will notice suddenly some of them kind of like jump to a different level of proficiency. I'm speaking English right now, and I spoke English like this before living in an English-speaking country. And I'm not a native English speaker. My mom was an English teacher, and I learned a lot from her. I owe her a lot because the beginnings of language learning for me really came from her and the way she taught me English. But the thing is, there are people who eventually kind of jump to a different level of proficiency. And those are the people who know, who have discovered something that those all other people don't know. They don't discover, they quit learning English, they quit learning French, they quit learning Russian or Arabic or other languages because they don't discover what some of us know. So if you think learning a language is difficult, probably you need to learn that thing that we know, the ones that have managed to learn English or other languages to a different level. Let me put it this way. A jigsaw puzzle. Imagine you've got a kid and you want to give them a jigsaw puzzle. For those who don't know what is a jigsaw puzzle, there were times when I didn't know what was a jigsaw puzzle. I know what is a puzzle, but what is a jigsaw puzzle? So that's a jigsaw puzzle. Jigsaw puzzles are these days made of little cardboard pieces that you can put together. In the older times, they were made of wood, and then you would use a specific type of saw, which is called a jigsaw, to cut those little pieces that would fit together. So that's where that word comes from. But the thing is, if you give a child a jigsaw puzzle, you can make it too difficult for them. Can you guess where I'm getting to, what I'm getting at? Languages have been made difficult. Learning languages have been made difficult, just the same way as you could make the jigsaw puzzle difficult for a kid. So how would you make it difficult for a kid? Well, this is how a jigsaw puzzle initially looks like. So if you throw all those pieces in front of a kid, the kid is going to get confused because there's so many pieces. But you can make it even more difficult. How to make it more difficult? Give them the pieces. Give them too many pieces. Don't give them the bigger picture. So don't show them the picture that you can construct using those little pieces. Just give them the pieces and give too many pieces. And once you give them too many pieces, give them even more pieces as they go. Drop more there. Maybe some pieces that are even not related to the picture. Don't give them a base or a scaffold that would hold the pieces. So basically the page that you would put in the bottom, and then at the bottom, and put the jigsaw puzzle pieces onto that cardboard piece. Don't give them that. Just let them be. So make it really complicated for them. You know, that's what is happening to you. You get grammar tips and more of them. You get vocabulary and more of them, and they are not related to each other. There is no scaffolding system. There is no base where you could put the pictures together, the pieces of the picture together, and you don't know how the big picture looks like. So you have too many pieces of the puzzle on your hand. Many of these pieces are not even in the picture. They're not related to the picture. I used to run a class, and I would give 3 groups of students 3 different very easy puzzles, and then we would switch one piece between these 3 puzzles. So they would quickly put the pieces of the puzzle together, and then they would discover that one piece doesn't fit into the puzzle, and then they would start communicating with each other, and this was actually an exercise of communication. All right, so many of these pieces are not even in the picture. They don't belong to the picture. And worst of all, you, while learning English, keep asking for more pieces. You don't know where to put the other pieces. You don't know how to use the grammar tips that you already know. You don't know how to use the words that you already know, but you're asking for more and more and more. And that's the worst thing he can do. You don't have to learn more grammar. You don't have to learn more words. That's the bigger picture for that same puzzle. And I've written the source because I took it off the internet. So until you see the picture, the big picture, you don't know what those little bits and pieces were about. And that makes it harder. So Smart Easy English, or simplified easy English if you like, it's not about studying hard. It's not about others being smarter than you. It's not about the websites, books, or tutors you work with. It's all about upgrading your learning habits to get real results. Instead of memorizing words and grammar, rules you are not sure how to use, you will actually learn only what you need. Instead of learning the hard way, you will be learning English deeper and easier anytime and anywhere. So what does that mean? Well, that takes really a long time to discuss and tell you how it all happens. It cannot happen in a matter of 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And I'm even not sure if you're interested in all of this stuff. So I cannot tell you all of this right here. But look, the bad news is you may be far away and traveling is not easy at the moment. Traveling is not easy at the moment, particularly with that COVID thing being around. But here's the good news. We can meet online. This will be a 45-minute lesson you've never experienced before. And I tell you why. The reason is, this is where you will learn to look at learning English in a totally different way. Yes, I'm going to teach you the brand new system I call Smart or Simplified Easy English. And my website is called Abstract Wisdom, hence the abbreviation AWSEE, Aussie. So instead of you focusing on memorizing grammar and vocabulary, you will use the language as you go. Instead of learning what you're told, you will trust your own mind and learn only what you really need. That's a concept that might be a little bit hard to understand right now. It's very easy, and you will go away knowing exactly how to learn English all by yourself, using the internet in the smartest way, non-techie way, easy way, but in a way that is low-tech, easy to do, fast to do, and it gives you the upgraded language skills you really want. Right away, after the lesson, you will be able to use these tips and points to perform better at work, university, or that permanent residency visa that depends on your English test results. Yes, that 45 minutes helps you. Of course, in 45 minutes, I cannot give you everything, but at least it gives you a few clues that will allow you to, start on your own. If what I say interests you, then make sure you register below and let me work with you during the free lesson so that these principles kind of get ingrained in your mind a little bit more, and you will be able to look at the process of language learning from a different point of view, from a different angle, using a different camera if you like. Well, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for listening to this program, and thank you very much for downloading this file here. All the best wishes to you, and see you soon, hopefully, during the 45-minute lesson and beyond. All the best.